be crazy enough to change the rhythm and the melody on the fly. But, you know, that fits the American spirit. So, anyway, the claim is it's the only true American art form.
That's because some people have a need to be different, special. So everybody's special. They're just special different ways.
Yeah, you and I are really special.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, your photographs look good. There's one picture with you labeled it "boy in the window." Roger.
That's correct.
The problem I see with that is I didn't get it until I stared hard. So if the boy was bigger, I don't know. It kind of got lost because of the size. Roger.
Well, you're looking at fairly small stuff. I mean, this is something that would be better seen, you know, on, you know.
Okay, here we are. We got about, 3 minutes till the Rogue Valley single sideband, 2-meter sideband net here in the Rogue Valley in Southern Oregon. So stand by till 7 o'clock. We'll be here shortly.
Magnified it, and it was a nuclear reactor.
Oh, so you saw the steam from the cooler?
Yeah, I had never noticed the nuclear reactor in this beautiful, tranquil farm scene.
Right. The deal is, if I put some, I don't title most photos, but if I put boy in the window and no one gets it, that's on them. Over.
Oh, I definitely found the boy in the window. So, yeah. Too bad you didn't have a telephoto.
No, I'm glad I didn't have a telephoto because I wouldn't change it a bit.
Roger. Alrighty, I better get ready for the net and see if anyone else. This is for ID, N7LJC. This is KJ7JAL.
KJ.
Dr. Tom.
Yes.
Whiskey 6 Foxtrot Charlie. Kilo Charlie 7 Hotel Echo X-ray.
Walter, do you know if Bob's around today?
Bob is. Bob's sitting right here listening to the whole thing happening. Live streaming it. We're going to be live streaming again tonight. Grants Pass is going to be slim pickings again tonight. This is the first Tuesday of the month, so the vast majority of them are going to be at their Aries meeting. So we'll probably get one or two. That should be it. N7 RBP.
All right, Bob, you're going to be up first because we have to waste time for 20 minutes. So maybe we're going to have a Grants Pass and then some kind of discussion and then POJ.
Oh, I don't know if I'd call it wasting time. This is premium time. Premium time on the 2-meter Rogue Valley single sideband net. Over.
Oh, excuse-moi. Not enjoying our free time.
Yeah, there you go. All righty. Well, gosh, we're getting pretty close here. We are. We're 15 seconds over, so I guess I'll start it out here. This is N7 RBP with the 2-meter single sideband Rogue Valley net on the Tuesday night 7 o'clock session. And we're going to do things a little differently here. We've got our normal Roseburg contact. North of here is going to be delayed slightly. He's got some company and doing a little dining, and he'll be showing up hopefully in about 15 or 20 minutes. So Anyhow, we are going to turn our, well, first of all, let's see. Let's see who we've got in the Rogue Valley. I know we've got at the top of the list here, I heard Mike Bach check in, W6 Foxtrot Charlie. We've got Larry, N7LJC. We've got David, K7BBS. We've got Jeff, KJ7JAL. And we've got Walter, KC7HEX. Who else have we got on tap in the Rogue Valley this evening? Over.
N8 BKJ, November 8, Bravo, Kilo, Juliet, East Medford.
Okay, Tom, we got you. Who else have we got out there?
Kilo 7 Echo Oscar.
Kilo 7 Echo Oscar. Good, Sharon. Good to hear you. And maybe one or two more. Who else have we got? Okay, well, that sounds good. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and myself makes 7. So that's about par for the course. All right, well, I'm not sure if the Grants Pass guys are going to be ready to go yet or not, but we're going to find out. Let's see here, WA6OTP, Oscar Tango Papa. Are you listening tonight, Jeff? Or Jim? I forgot to put my earphones on here. I gotta plug those in so that I can have my best hearing. All right, there we go. Oh, they're not working. Oh, I know why. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, I know what's going on. My push to talk is stuck. No, David, I'm not on Vox. My push to talk button was stuck. You know, I've got that that hippy dippy red button thing, you know, that you told me about and that I bought and gave one to you. I was not having problems with the button. I was having problems with the operator. The operator failed to push it again to undetent it. Over. No, I very rarely use Vox. I use Vox on contests. About the only time I use Vox. I very rarely ever have the Vox button pushed. Over. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. All right, we're going to try once again. WA6OTP and Grants Pass. Are you hanging out there tonight, Jim? Okay, hearing no reply from WA6OTP, we're going to try for any Grants Pass station that might be listening tonight. I know that there's a the first Tuesday of the month meeting that the vast majority of the Grants Pass people go to, and there may be no check-ins tonight. We'll see. Once again, anybody in Grants Pass listening? Over. Okay, Jeff, go ahead and take it. I cannot hear him tonight. All right, I turned my preamp on here. That might help. WA60TP, N7RBP. Let's see if that helped. Over. Boy, I can hear Jim in there just barely, but I cannot pick out what he's saying tonight for some reason. I'm swinging my antenna back and forth, and I think I've got just about the hottest signal I can get on him, and it's still not good enough. Over. I did not. I can hear him talking, but I cannot understand a single word that he's saying. Over.
WA6 OTP, I heard that you and Ivy, KA7WRU, are over in Grants Pass. Copy.
OTP, here's Whiskey 6 Foxtrot, Charlie. You're S5 here and Ivy is S9. Over. Whiskey 6 Foxtrot, Charlie. Yeah, you're S5, Jim. S5 and Ivy is S9 here.
Okay, roger that. I got you there, Jim. This is Dewey again. I got the three of you, Brian, Ivy, and yourself. And anybody else over here in Jackson County, can you hear over in Grants Pass at all? Yeah, I think Bob said he was running horizontal and he was moving his antenna back and forth. Is that right, Bob? Are you running horizontal?
No, I'm not. I always run vertical talking to Grants Pass, and I am on my vertical elk right now, the antenna I always use for Grants Pass. But I'm hearing Jim in there, but I am not able to understand what he's saying. Over.
Did you hear that, Jim? Okay, so Jim's saying he can hear J7JAL and 7RBP, and also it was X. Let's see, which one was it? Well, and then of course Mike Bach, WB6FFC, and who was the other one, Jim? And N8BKJ. He can hear you guys over there. If anybody would like to give it a try for Grants Pass, any of those call signs, I don't know if anybody can hear over here, but give it a try. All right, Jim, I think conditions are not that great for us over here tonight. Doesn't seem as if hardly anybody is picking you up. They say they're hearing you in the bottom of the noise, but can't really make it out. Roger?
KC7HX. Yeah, sorry, I had to step away. My son needed help with homework. I got all you guys a pretty solid copy, as usual. Okay, bud. Catch you later, Jim. KC7HX.
Okay, N7RBP, it sounds like Jim's gonna, he shut it down on his end over there, so he had WA60TP, KA7, WRU, and NB7S, or Brian, basically. So back to you, Bob. CAM7DEW.
All right, Dewey and Walter, thank you for that, and even Jeff got better ears into Grants Pass than I do this evening. I'm not sure what's going on. Probably one of the worst copies I've had on Grants Pass. I'm going to have to go outside and make sure that my antenna is still up. I know it is. I've got a good match. Everything's looking good, but and I'm pointed as good as I can point it. I've scanned that antenna back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I did get a hot spot there for Jim, as good as it was, but it wasn't good enough. So, all right, well, they've already signed then, so that makes it real short for Grants Pass, and we're just going to have to stand by, I guess, and just kind of do some local rag chew, I guess, until K7POJ shows up on scene. If he shows up on scene, we'll have to wait and see. I'm kind of anxious to see, because I trimmed a lot of branches, or not a lot, but a number of branches out from around my 11 element Yagi. So there's no branches or anything touching my Yagi now, and I'm hopeful that it's going to be a little better in the ears and transmit. So I'm kind of looking forward to POJ coming on board. So anyhow. Anybody have a topic they want to discuss this evening while we're kind of hanging fire? Photography, ham radio, whatever, and 7RBP.
I have a question for Dewey.
Yeah, this is CAM7DW.
Hey, Mark, did you buy one of these cross-polarized 2-meter antennas where you could go horizontal or vertical?
Yes, that's correct.
Didn't you have trouble with it?
Yeah, so the SWRs on the 9700 are right at, 1.8. I thought that, you buy it and it's built for 2 meters, that it should be, 1-to-1 basically on that antenna, because I spent, $300 on it or whatever it was. But it was not, wasn't that great on the SWRs, as good as I wanted it, so got it tuned in and I'm using it, but that's what I use to talk to POJ and to Grants Pass.
Roger. What's the make and model number?
Well, let's see. Let me pull that out of my brain. Just kidding. Hold on a second and I'll grab the paperwork on it and tell you the exact one.
The first one that they sent him looked like an X, and it didn't work at all.
Once Mark figures that out, I'm trying to figure out how apparently you can use 2 different cables and run it to your shack or some kind of remote control.
Yeah, check if I got it here. Yeah, the first one they sent me actually was not, it looked like an X, and it wasn't T. It wasn't 90 degrees from each other on the elements. Somebody drilled the boom in the wrong spots. But anyways, the antenna is an A148 and a dash 20T, 20T. It's got 20 elements on it. And it is, I want to say that it was an MFJ, but it wasn't real specific. But that MFJ is the one that had to take it back from the place that I bought it from. Actually, it says Cushcraft in this, Cushcraft inside here.
Yeah, Cushcraft makes them. I had a pair of those phased together, and they work really nice.
So the next question is, how do you go from horizontal to vertical? You can run 2 coax cables or remote control. Roger.
Yeah, 2 coax cables and a switch. That's how I run them. So I run horizontal and POG, and then I just switch it to the vertical side. And then when you guys are all, like right now, I switched it. It's a 3 switch, and it's on my vertical, on the very top of the tower right now.
Okay, and the last question, it sounds like you can center mount it.
Center mount it. It attaches to the pole. I spin it around with the rotor. I'm not sure if I'm answering the question.
So the pictures, they're all end mounted, but when I read the instructions, it says you can center mount it on a fiberglass pole so that there's an equal amount sticking out each direction from the pole. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, I get it. It is not center. So where it connects to the pole is 4 elements up it. So it's not like it's connected to the end of it. It's connected more towards the center. It's not perfectly center, but I think that's the way they show the instructions to put it together.
It's just interesting because I would like to get a better copy on OTP, but I had a dedicated vertical array, two antennas, and I'm not really getting any. That wasn't better than this vertical at 30 feet.
Well, definitely the horizontal side of this thing. I can barely hear POJ. So when I turn it to the horizontal, he comes in here over 9.
Roger. All right, thanks, Dewey. Let's see. I guess we can make a call to Roseburg. So this is KJ7J on the 2-meter single sideband net, and I will switch to a horizontal antenna. All right, this is KJ7JL in the 2-meter single sideband net, and we're going to see if Steve is done eating. K7POJ, are you on frequency, sir? Maybe he's on dessert. K7POJ, K7POJ. I will monitor on horizontal, let the other folks talk on vertical, but I will be listening on horizontal.
This is K7BBS. I could throw a shout out for him. K7POJ, this is K7BBS in Phoenix.
Well, doggone. I was hoping to hear him too. I wanted to test out my newly exposed antenna.
You think you got water in a connection, Bob? Because it rained.
Well, if I had water in the connection, most probably my SWR would be fluctuating and or bad. And I'm not even getting a reading. Just maybe a little hint of blue on the SWR scale. I mean, it's flat as a pancake.
Yeah, Roger. Okay.
So who all do we have left here on the Medford side that's still listening?
Whiskey 6 Foxtrot Charlie is still here.
Kilo Mike 7, Delta Echo Whiskey.
And 70JC, changing corner cartridges.
Well, obviously, KJ7JL.
And N7RBP is here, and Walter kind of comes and goes. You still there, Walter? He's in the go mode right now. Sharon, you still there? K7 Echo Oscar?
Noontime lunch?
Roger. Lunch is tomorrow at 11:30, except for Walter, who shows up at 11, apparently. That was a joke.
I know, it made me smile.
Sharon, K7 Echo Oscar, you still in there? She checked in and out once, and that was it, I guess. I was kind of interested to see how her HF antenna was working after she got it hearing okay. But we'll catch that next time. And 7RBP.
Bob, you coming to lunch tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know why not. First Wednesday of the month. I see no reason why not. Over.
Roger.
BBS is going to try and be there.
Outstanding.
Oh, I doubled with the last call.
Oh, I just said outstanding. Glad to hear BBS is going to make it for lunch.
Dr. Tom, you going to make it?
I'm going to make it. Hey, BKJ here. Hey, KM7DEW, I was thinking, Dewey, that maybe if you have any time tomorrow after this thing, if anybody wanted to come over and take a look at this, the solar system I put in, it's an EG system. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a plan. I'm going to plan it on being at lunch, but I might be a hair late or something. I'm not. No, actually, I'll be good to go tomorrow. So
break.
So, yeah, I'll do that. And then, yeah. And I have a topic if anybody's bored.
I think POJ's online.
Hello, POJ.
clear there, POJ, KC7HX.
Whiskey 6 Foxtrot, Foxtrot Charlie.
Whiskey 6 Foxtrot, Foxtrot Charlie. How you doing?
Pretty good. Your S9 plus a little bit tonight. Here.
All right, let me look at my meter. And I'm actually taking it easy with 240 volts tonight, so only running half of what it can do. But that's only 3 dB. So anyway, let me see the meter here. Go ahead.
Okay, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. 0 beat my radio.
Well, my ACOM says you're almost touching the plus 20 mark.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'll put you down at the plus 18.
All right, Steve, did you have a good dessert? We figured you you couldn't escape the dessert, so first things first, right, Roger?
Well, I actually escaped, and the dessert will be after the 144.240 net, so probably closer to 2100. Over.
Roger. Okay, sir, you sounded good here. I'll let other folks try to make a contact.
What's your polarity there, Jeff?
I'm on horizontal. We were talking about Dewey's dual polarization Cushcraft that goes vertical, horizontal on 2 different coax. Roger.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to see how that works out.
Dewey's got a good contact to you on the horizontal. Roger, Dewey?
Yeah, Roger. K7POJ, KM7DEW.
KM7DEW, you're the same as Jeff. You're S9. Why don't you try your vertical?
All right, yeah, let me switch.
Yeah, definitely S9 on horizontal.
All right, and this is the vertical side.
I hear you. Let me see what the reading is. Go ahead.
KM7DEW on the vertical.
S3 vertical, S9 horizontal.
Hey, Dewey, can you do circular?
Well, I do have that one omnidirectional on top. I got it, POJ. This is the omnidirectional on the very top, the dual bander. I imagine you're probably not even hearing me. Yeah, that's the case. All right, cool.
All right, Steve, Dewey tried you on his Omni, but you didn't hear him on the Omni, but you did hear him on the vertical and on the horizontal Yagi.
USL. I did.
All right, Steve, thanks a bunch, buddy. And you coming to lunch tomorrow?
Not tomorrow, but we'll get there before you know it.
Right on. All right. Well, cool. Thanks for the contact, and I'll turn it back to net control, and maybe somebody else can give her a whirl out here. KM7DW, thank you. 73s, bud.
Good to hear you, Mark. 73s down there to beautiful Jacksonville.
Hey, Steve, we want to know what you're eating for dessert.
She bought some ice cream sandwiches.
Oh, okay. Let's see, Dr. Tom, can you hear Steve?
Tonight I'm going to bow out, and I could barely hear him.
Roger. N8 BKJ cannot quite hear you, Steve.
Yeah, I can barely hear Dr. Tom. I know he's there. I hear the signal, but nothing discernible.
Roger. Okay. Anyone else want to try to make a contact to Roseburg? Like I say, I don't charge a fee. Go ahead.
Well, let me give it a try there, Jeff. K7POJ, this is N7, RB and a P. Do you copy over? Well, it looks like my clearing of the limbs around my antenna didn't make much difference. We'll try it one more time. K7POJ. This is N7RBP, over.
Yeah, I'm hearing a double too, so I'll stand by for a second.
And try that again, RBP.
All right. right, we're going to try it one more time. This is the N7 RBP radio station in Medford calling. K7 POJ in Roseburg, over.
Did you hear him, Steve? N7 RBP is trying to reach you.
Roger. Hey, Bob, I can hear you. I recognize your voice, but I do have some noise that's coming up from the south. It's running S1 on my estimator, and your signal is also S1, so it's right there on the edge. Over.
Okay, about the same thing as me and Grants Pass, so I understand exactly what you're saying. We'll drop it and let somebody else give it a try. N7 RBP, clear and monitoring net.
All right, Bob. Yeah, Steve, Bob's had some trouble hearing Grants Pass today, and normally he can hear well, so he just was worried maybe something was up with his antenna. But, okay, anyone else want to try to make a contact to Grants Pass? Sorry, guys. Roseburg, go ahead.
K7POJ, KC7HX.
You are S5 on my meter. What antenna are you on, Mr. Walter?
Yeah, just the egg beater. Yeah, the signals are not that great tonight. Usually you're coming in 10, 15 over, and right now you're just doing an S5 for me.
Double.
Try again, Walter.
Hey, Steve. Okay, what I said was I was on the egg beater, and usually you're S10 and S15, but tonight it's only on the 5.
Yeah, I didn't get the very last part of that. Sorry about tonight. And I think you said S5, is that right?
Roger.
Okay, can somebody relay the last part of Walt?
He said that he's receiving you at about S5, and he acknowledged that.
Roger, so we're both at S5.
Roger. Yeah, the conditions are not that good tonight, or our path for some reason is greatly degraded.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the smoke does with VHF. I know the smoke's different here tonight. So, we'll see. But you know, the thing is that FFC is extremely loud. I mean, a whopping signal here, so I haven't heard that before.
Okay, I'll let someone else try. KC7HX.
All right. FFC, are you doing something different today?
Well, yeah, I changed my antenna during the week.
You going to give us an update, sir?
It's a pair of 5 wavelength M squareds stacked 14 feet apart.
Wowzers. Did you hear that, Steve?
Yeah, FFC, how many elements are this thing?
17 elements on a 33-foot boom.
Oh, my goodness. What type of power splitter are you running?
It's a homebrew 1-inch square aluminum square tubing.
Oh, impressive. Well, guess what? Make it work.
Sounds like he's talking inside a Campbell's soup can.
Yeah, it's working very, very well. You're making me jealous.
Yeah, well, I wanted to work the guys up in Seattle and Canada on 240 tonight.
Okay, well, I've never got to Canada. Maybe you will.
Oh, yeah, I've done it before down here.
Well, I'll be listening. Are you going to log in on Pacific, the spreadsheet?
Yeah, I did last weekend, so I'll try it again this weekend. It was a little cumbersome, but I finally figured it out.
Yeah, I'm just trying to fill that out myself, but thank you all for turning me that way. And, yeah, we'll put our names in there and see if they can hear us.
Well, that's quite a range of antennas from Michael's dual Yankees to Walter's egg beater.
Hello, POJ.
Hello, Mr. Black.
So, how much am I flexing your needle tonight?
Your needle's flexing
All right, well, real good. I got you at around a 7, so a little less, but I also hear a lot of noise, a lot of fuzzy noise, which is unusual.
Yeah, mine's kind of got a power line sort of sound to it, but normally if I go to AM, I know for sure, and I found a way to make the waterfall really identify power line noise. It has a very unique pattern to it when you get it going the right speed and the right bandwidth.
Well, that is very interesting. Well, I'm running about 115 watts on a 4-element Yagi horizontal. So that's my current words.
Well, it works. I hear you just fine.
All right, real good, Steve. Well, it was good to talk with you on the radio this weekend, and I look forward to other times. So I'm going to toss it back to Net.
Roger. Good contact. I think I've got an ice cream sandwich in the freezer. I might go look at that after this. All right. Anyone else want to make a contact before Steve attacks the ice cream sandwich?
Yeah, hey, K7 POJ, KM7DW, can you check your meter one last time here? I realized my power was a little bit down, but not that much.
You're barely touching that tape, so you're getting pretty close to doing it there, over.
No, hey, it's Dewey here. I had an adjustment.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit better.
Yeah, I had an adjustment that I made on the radio there. So anyways, thanks, POJ. I appreciate it.
All right, that's good to hear you, Jeff Dewey. So catch you in a little bit. Bob, are you there?
I am still here. I'm hearing you just fine, but I know you can't hear me, over.
Yeah, I got airplane flutter on you, but anyway, you were booming in here today, absolutely booming in here today on 40 meters, over.
Yes, I heard you. I heard you make a comment, and I think you were going to make a contact, but they were going too fast, over.
Yeah, you heard me, but not control with my relay didn't hear me, but that's all right. I can talk to you lots of ways.
All right. Well, I know you can't hear me very well. I know it's a struggle, so we'll talk one way or another at another time. K7POJ, N7, RB and a P.
The Rogue River Station, he was on there, and he was loud like you were. Very unusual.
Yeah, Walter, tell him Roger.
Steve, Bob says Roger.
Roger, Bob. Got it. I'd like to, I'm going to call locally here. Anybody in the Alpha Valley want to talk to the Rogue Valley here on 200? Anyone that can hear me? Over. No takers, Mr. Control. Back to you.
All right, Steve. As usual, we appreciate your being there. Especially if you have to delay your dessert, so that shows true dedication, sir. So we appreciate it. I'll one last call. Anybody, anywhere, anytime. Doesn't have to be a member or on the roster. If you want to make a contact to anybody, go now. Nothing heard. All right, K7POJ, as usual, we greatly appreciate your being there. It's fun to test our equipment on a horizontal and sometimes both vertical. So appreciate you being there, Steve. K7POJ, KJ7J on 73s from Southern Oregon, well, the Rogue Valley.
All right, thanks for doing that there, Jeff, and 73s and FFC, and we will see you in a little while. K7POJ.
Roger. Good to hear you in there, Steve. K7BBS.
Roger that, Dave.
Going vertical. Bob, what do you think's going on with your antenna?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it, Jeff. I think it's conditions. I think we just have some crummy conditions tonight. We had a pretty good sized CME yesterday, and the sun's been pounding us. So I think it's just conditions. It's the only thing I can think of. I know the antenna's in good shape because I was out there today, and I was peering up at it, and it looked just fine. There's no problem there, and I know it's weatherproof. It's weathered many a storm. My SWR is fine. Everything's fine. It's just conditions. Like Walter said, POJ signal is down by 70%. It's down to about 5 S units, and he's usually up to 15. So purely and simply conditions is what my diagnosis is.
Roger. I think you've got a better, when conditions are working in a straight line, you got the better, much better pathway. My antenna just picks up a bunch of echoes. So I'm crummy, but maybe I'm always just crummy.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Earwigs. Earwigs are inside your antenna.
Now that's not uncommon. That has been an issue for hams more than once. I can just about guarantee you.
Yep, some little thinkers love my PM 2.5 gauge, but I moved it into another spot. So far they haven't bothered it.
Yeah, earwigs are and ants too. Ants are a real problem. And even an occasional rodent that decides to chew through the coax.
I think I saw a hummingbird fall off of my antenna.
What, too much voltage?
No, it would be too much RF.
Shocking.
I can't get the birds off my antenna even if I rotate it. They don't. You would think a bird would be sitting there going, what kind of a tree rotates and get off it? But they won't get off my rotating antenna.
It's a carnival ride, and they don't have to pay for it. They get it for free.
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Of course, I could just open the window and throw a stick at them.
Kilo 7 Echo Oscar. Sharon, are you still listening? And 7 RBP.
K7 Leo, I am listening and didn't have anything to add because I couldn't hear the guys up north.
Yeah, I know you have a hard time hearing them. Everybody's having a hard time hearing tonight anyhow. I was just going to ask you how your HF contacts are coming and going. Are they any better or about the same? Are you satisfied or not?
HF is going great. I talked to New Jersey a day or two ago. I talked to Arizona. And I was hoping for a little bit better contact today on sideband, 2 meter sideband, because I just put up my elk.
Yeah, good. That's good to hear. Well, about the only thing one can do for better HF is maybe a different or higher antenna. How high is your current antenna? I forgot to ask you that.
It's probably only 12 or 13 feet off the ground.
Did you say 20 feet?
Negative 12 to 13.
Oh, 12 to 13. Yeah, that's not very high. Ideally, if you could get it up 20 feet or 30 feet, that would really help, and even a little higher for some of those longer contacts. So, in order to maybe your next step would be to get that antenna a little higher. Everything else I think is copacetic. Maybe just a little more height on the antenna. Over.
Yeah, I have plans on testing, putting it up a little higher. I have a dead tree that's kind of right off my deck that would be easy to put it on. It's just a matter of getting a ladder out or something like that to get a little bit more height on the reach. But yeah, I'm not complaining about New Jersey. That's not bad.
No, that's a few miles away, New Jersey. Ideally on HF, it really makes one feel good to get outside of the boundaries of the country, though, if you can. That's what makes it really fun. So, what's your highest tree around your place? Have you got a pretty tall tree?
Well, the highest tree is 150 feet or so. I'm up in the woods, but no, I've got a dead tree right here off the deck, and it's probably it's higher than the peak of the house.
Just as tall as the peak of the house, and is that like maybe 20 feet?
It's probably more than the peak of the house, and I mean I don't have a tall peak, so my roof is probably 15 feet, I would guess.
Oh, 60 feet. Now that'd be nice. That'd be very nice. Worst case, if you can't get it higher, we get a drone up there and lift that antenna right over the tree.
I hadn't thought about that, and I know somebody with a drone, so I'll consider that. And I should probably move my 2-meter antenna back to vertical, because I think you're having a hard time hearing me.
Oh yeah, we're all talking on vertical right now.
Yeah, I had switched it to horizontal when I think it was Walter was doing that. I switched mine to horizontal to see if I could get out to Grants Pass better. It didn't help.
Yeah, that made a better difference, a nice difference. All right, well, I was just kind of curious, just food for thought, things to think about. Over.
Well, yeah, I like your ideas. Okay, thank you.
David, your signal went clear down in the mud for some reason for me.
Well, I was trying to tune in Sharon a little better with me, and I'm kind of dialing around.
Oh, okay. That's why. I understand.
Well, Sharon, it's really good to hear you in here. It's not the same old crew. We have new people, and we like that. So join us anytime. And I am the D-Star expert. So if you ever have questions for that, reach out to K7BBS.
Well, thank you, and hopefully you can still hear me because my antenna is now down, so I can reach it to move it back to vertical. So thank you. Over.
You're welcome, man. I think I found a happy spot between RBT and you, so I hear both of you.
Okay, give me a second. I'll move it to vertical. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I hear you just fine now, David.
What was that, Bob?
I hear you just fine now, no problem.
Yeah, I don't think she needed to change her antenna, but I'd be curious to see what happens when she goes to vertical.
Yeah, she was 20 over here.
She's close to me, so she hits me really good.
Well, it's kind of a bummer. We didn't start off the net with talking about the lunch tomorrow.
Well, we did touch bases on the subject though, so I think we've got a few confirmed attendees, so it won't be a total loss tomorrow, I don't think.
No, it'll be good. And don't forget to, I think you wanted to do some HF testing with Sharon.
Are you talking about tomorrow?
Oh, I thought you were talking about earlier tonight to do some testing. And she didn't answer that one time you called out, right?
Oh, I don't think we were talking about tonight. I think we were talking about if she could get her antenna any higher than it is.
Oh, okay. Well, you're good.
And 7 RBP for ID.
This is K7DDS for ID.
Kilo Mike 7 Delta Echo Whiskey.
Hey, Bob, I'd like to do a quick test. So, kind of simulate how you hear me now, and I'm going to say a few more words, and then when I unkey, I am going to make a change and key up again, and you tell me which one you like better.
All right, standing by.
All right, this is K7DDS. I'll copy now.
Better now. I like it better this way than previous.
Interesting, you know? Just all these different buttons.
Yeah, the second one is much clearer, crisper and clearer. Just a little, you know, if you wouldn't have mentioned, I wouldn't have thought there was anything to complain about at all. But the difference between the two, it was a little not as clean, not as crisp as the second one.
K7EO.
Okay, well, I'm still in mode for the second, and I'll listen out a little bit, see if Sharon's back after her antenna change. You know, sounds like she's doing it the manual way.
Yep, sounds like she's back. Go ahead, Sharon. I've got 20 S units on you here right now.
Yeah, K7EO. Yes, it's a manual adjustment here, so it's a backup on vertical.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Well, that's good consolation because, you know, it's just a new antenna. So I was really hoping to hear Grant's Pass.
You know, I have a Yagi for mine, and I have a tough time. Even if I'm on vertical, I can't hear them. So I hear you there.
Yeah, it sounds like everybody's having trouble tonight, so I'm trying not to be too much of a downer. So, you know, another night and better conditions.
Well, you know, we like to hear you in there, and, you know, everyone is in a different spot, and they have different antennas, so it's always good to hear, you know, when people are about to make changes, you know, to get a perspective. So feel free to speak up and say, hey, how do I sound now? Because, you know, if you make a change later in the week, we won't know what to compare it to.
Well, that's a good point. I know I want to be playing with some more HF2 and maybe some D-Star. I haven't been on D-Star in about 2 years.
Well, for what it's worth department, I did not announce it tonight. I should have, but I am live streaming it, so you do have your audio archived in history, Sharon, at this point. So any changes you make, you can compare it down the road to this particular video over.
Oh, that's a good point. Normally I wouldn't. I'd be pretty quiet, but that's a good point. It'll be good comparison for later.
Well, I'm going to listen out and see if anybody wants to chatter after, but it's been a good net, I just want to say.
Yeah, it could have been better in my opinion, but it is what it is. Nothing one can do about conditions. And for some reason my lighting in here isn't up to snuff as it is usually, and I've got the same lights on. I'm not sure what's going on, but anyhow, I'm going to cease my streaming for the night and listen out as well, and turn the frequency back to regular amateur use, as they say. This N7 RBP.
Well, you know, around here we really don't know what regular is.
Normal, normal.
Is that like leaded or unleaded?
Leaded or unleaded? Yeah, I guess so.
Well, okay. I can say for me, neither works. So, I'll leave it at that. K7 PDT.
All right, N7 RBP, clear and monitoring.
Yeah, but PBS, you do have a lawnmower. And Sharon, I was trying to get to you there for a second. It's Dewey, but we're close enough that it doesn't matter what you do. You sound great over here. So KM7DW just for a audio report.
Well, thanks, Dewey. I appreciate that.
You bet. Glad to have you on the net. All righty then.